What up? 9:07 p.m., May 6, 2025. Here we go. Do I got to get an intro or something? Because starting the show off the same way like that, I just don't like it. Whatever, dude. Especially because we don't have intro music right now. We got outro music, but it's too long. There's no words. Dude, whatever. All right. Truthfully speaking, all I've done today is just learn to code through Mimo and wait for the email. That's it. I haven't done anything else, man. I went to work, hit the gym, stuff like that. But as far as anything else, dude, didn't do anything. So, it is what it is, dude. I just want that email. And it's getting to that point again where it's like, I don't care if they deny me. I don't care if they accept me. Just please send an email so I can stop, worrying about this. Because I believe I said when the first one was done, I'm glad that it's over. That way I can focus on my stuff. I don't got to, I just accept this current path that I'm on as the path that I will be on for a while. And I was thinking about what I'd want to do. And it's funny because just a few episodes ago, I was talking about how I don't give a shit about this. But I want out of my current position for sure. And one way that I can do that is quit and go to FedEx. But FedEx is very labor intensive. I don't really want a job like that. Call me a bitch. I don't care. I've done my fair share of that. And I would like to not. I will if I have to, but I would just rather not. So I was like, okay, what else could I do? And truthfully speaking, that would be get some kind of software developer job. And entry-level positions, some of them start in six figures. So entry-level junior full-stack developers start in the six-figure range. So that'd be cool if I could do that. And I don't know what a realistic time frame is to learn all this stuff, but that kind of shifts everything for me to learning more than anything else. But if I get the resignation, that kind of changes, that shifts things. It doesn't change things. If I don't get it, which I'm sure I will, I'm actually really confident. I'm seeing more and more stuff. One thing that is kind of scary is everybody is saying that they have gotten, okay, let me say this real quick. I'm seeing a lot of people get accepted and they are doing all the paperwork and they're done. And I'm seeing this online with Reddit and people sharing their 2 cents, stuff like that. And I'm seeing people get it, but when I ask around if they're a working capital fund employee, they always say no. And I just want one person to be working capital fund because the first time they were exempt, the second time they're not exempt. But it does say that working capital fund employees don't really help the intent or the initiative of what they're trying to do. So they're trying to get rid of people with this, I don't know what else to call it. Maybe a bribe. Maybe that's appropriate. Trying to get rid of people with this bribe, if that's even correct. But that doesn't help them if working capital fund employees go, and that's what I am. So there's that going against me. There's no exemptions for that. There's no blanket statement for that. And it said exemptions should be rare. So that's the only thing that's going against me, but I feel confident in that regard that I'll be okay. But anyway, so if I do get it, or if I don't get it, then what I'm going to do is continue doing everything I'm doing for Brian and Mina, but with a heavier focus on learning rather than trying to make my own stuff or trying to, however that may pan out. But if I do get it, what I'm going to do is dedicate however many hours per day to learning to get a job. Let's see. If I dedicate 6 hours per day to learning full stack dev, how long would it take to be proficient enough, does that even have a good combo, to land a full stack software dev job? Let's see. If you're starting from zero and grinding 6 hours per day, expect 3 to 4 months to build a solid foundation, 5 to 6 months to start applying for junior roles, 6 to 8 months to company build full apps, pass tech interviews, and land a job. So 6 to 8 months. Breakdown by phase, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, what if I have a small foundation as is, not 0, and 4 hours per day. So that shifts things a little bit. 2 to 3 months to go from beginner to competent, 4 to 5 months to apply for junior full stack jobs, 5 to 6 months to land offers if consistent with solid projects. Now, obviously, this is AI. I get that, fully understand. But this is, I guess, something that I could try to get, try to aim for. So 6 months, which is actually, that's actually not bad whatsoever. But, dude, I don't know. Truthfully speaking, the more that I think of things like this, I feel like I'm just ultimately procrastinating what I want. But I think I feel that way because the thing that I want most is something that I don't know how to do, and that is to code my own shit, make my own software, run my own, that's what I want to do, but I don't know how to do that without AI. And I'm probably always going to use AI because it saves so much time. But to get a job, I need to prove that I know what I'm doing, And obviously on the job, I'm sure I could use AI and stuff like that. But I need to be able to, I just need to be proficient in this shit before I try to, But the whole reason why I'm even entertaining the idea is because that gets me out of my current position. It also allows me to make more money. And dude, shit, if I combined Brian and Mina with I'd probably only do one at that point. But if I had Brian and or Mina money and software money, then I guess that would be, let's just do Mina, for example. Let's say at that point I'm 20 hours a week. Let's get my calculator. That would be 600 to 20 times 4. Oh, I guess that would be 600 times. So 600 a week is 31,000 a year at 20 hours a week with Mina. Now combine that with a $100,000, job from software development. It's $131,200 a year. So we divide that by week. It's $2,523 per week. That would be my gross income. So the whole reason why I'm even entertaining the idea is because I think that if I reached a point like that where finances truthfully were not an issue and I wouldn't have to work for Mina and I wouldn't have to work for Brian if I didn't want to, that way it would just be job and then all my finances are taken care of. At that point, I'm definitely going to be living with Lexi and we won't have any issues financially, period. And I would even go as far as to say if she wanted to cut back on hours at her job, I would totally be cool with, providing for us because that's some cool shit to me. So something I believe in as a man, I would love to be able to okay, so I want to preface this with, I think Lexi loves her job too much to ever want to stop. But she has mentioned that it would be cool if she could do part-time. But that aside, I think it would be badass if I could afford my entire family or how do you say that? It would be cool to afford my entire family the opportunity or whatever to not have to work as long as they're living with me. And I say that thinking of kids in the future, but to be able to be the one person in the house that makes brings the bread home while I have a wife, kids, whatever. That's fucking sick, dude. Somebody might be listening to this and think like, oh yeah, no shit. You're the husband, you're the father, you're the whatever. Well, yeah, but I just, the way of the world right now, that's like almost, I don't know, fucking people are weird, dude. Just different ideas, but it's almost frowned upon, because I'm not even going to get into it, but that'd be sick. And I don't know. The shit that I want to do the most is stuff that I cannot do because I don't know how to do it. And in order to get to the point where I know how to do it, I'm going to have to go through a period where it's just focusing on learning and all that stuff. So yeah, I think, I don't know. I'll have to brainstorm some ideas or or think about kind of what I want to do. Either way, I definitely, the more that I think about it, I think, pushing forward forward learning is going to be my best investment, because if this is only 6 months to get a entry-level job, let's see. What do jobs like this start at? Okay, so starting salary for full stack developers, the mid range is 70 to 90K, high range is 90 to 120. Let's see, low end is 50 to 65, so it's 65 is about what I make right now. Small startups, Midwest, remote, intern, junior roles. So what's this one? Entry level at Google, Meta, Amazon, 110 to 130. Holy shit. Freelance contract option. The difference isn't skill alone, it's in how strong your portfolio projects are, how well you interview, how many apps you build, how consistent you are with networking and applying. Yeah, so, along the way, if I could just build some projects that work and shit, then that'd be cool. Anyway, I think the reason why I'm even thinking about that is just because this whole resignation has really mentally put me through a loop. I just want a fucking email, dude. Everything that I've seen says I'm going to get one this week. Everything that I have been seeing last week and the week before said that, Monday, which is yesterday, we'd get an email. And that was true. We did. So that's cool. They got something going for them for the track record here. But yeah, I just hope that I get it before Friday, because Friday I don't work. So to think that I could go Friday and Saturday and Sunday and then essentially Monday, without signing any paperwork to start the whole thing, that means I would have to work this week and all of next week. And then I would start the whole resignation if that all goes through, which would put me at May 19th, which sucks, dude. It's all good, but okay, whatever. Also, I just remembered that right now, I recorded some podcast earlier today. I was at work when I did this. Let me make sure that's true. Yep, I recorded about 4 minutes earlier. I'm actually going to play that at the end of this, of what you're hearing right now, because you'd probably be confused if I put it at the start. Pretty much what happened was I was going back and forth with Brian, and he wanted a spreadsheet done today. And I said, dude, hey, I only got 3 hours to work on it. And what you're asking, it's just not going to be, I can't do that, He pretty much just said, okay, we don't need the fancy shit. They just need a spreadsheet. And I'm like, okay, well, if they just need a spreadsheet, then it's been done, because I've been this whole time, it's just been trying to make fancy shit. So it is what it is. So fast forward, spoiler alert, I sent him the spreadsheet, removed all the buttons, made a little Loom video with Nito, a Nito record video, and sent it to him. And it is now live. So people are now using the spreadsheet. I think there's like 30, 40, 50 people. There's 200 people in the group. So I imagine that it'd be cool if all 200 people are using it. I don't know how many people are actively using it, because when they first put it on there, put it up for grabs for live or whatever you want to call it, when they published it. The fuck am I trying to say? It was request only. So when somebody wanted to use it, they had to request my permission. I had to grant them. So I was able to see, I was able to see who was using it, and there was about 15 people, but that was 4 hours ago, so it's probably a lot more now, which is cool, but I want to see who's using it. Anyway, I feel, I don't know, dude, it's weird because it's cool. I guess it's my first project that is launched in live. People are using it, but it's not even mine, dude. I just changed this. I changed the colors, changed a couple of formulas. That's pretty much it. All the fancy stuff I am not going to be able to do right now because it's just not working. So it's not even mine. I put my name on it, and I made the videos explaining how to use it. And I just don't like that, because this isn't something that I would have made in the way that it was made. And if I had it my way, truthfully, I would say, hey, Brian, take it off. Let me make one from scratch. Let me make it how I would make it, because this is ass. And now, your students, if they're using the shitty one, if they want to switch to the good one later, then they're going to have to transfer all their data manually, and it's going to be a pain in the asshole, and now they're stuck. So whatever, dude. Whatever. So I sent it to him, and he sent me a voice message, and I thought, so I don't know. He's just hard to read sometimes, I guess, just based on text. So word for word, he says, so at 10 a.m., I'm at work. He says, yo, send me the KPI. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's key performance indicator, but I don't know what he's referencing when he says that. He says, I need both of them. Both of what, bro? Ping, ping. My students be asking. Everything that I just said is what he said. Yo, send me the KPI. I need both of them. Ping, ping. My students be asking. And I said, yo, I won't have access to my laptop until I get home from work later tonight. And by KPI, do you mean the spreadsheet with the workaround I showed you? He says, yes. I said, gotcha. Sorry, man. Like I said yesterday, I have limited time to work on these things during the week. The workarounds I showed you aren't functional as of yet, even though they're not as slick and fancy as the other pop-ups. Still takes a bit of time and code to make them work the way they need to without screwing everything else up. He says, I need a functional sheet today. I told the students I'd be giving them a sheet today. I need a sheet today. I said, I hear you. You have my word. I'll do my best to get it done, but I can't realistically promise they'll be fully working by tonight. I've got about 2 to 3 hours to do 6 full sheets of these scripts for the ads, leads, and combos, renewals, etc. I'll be home and able to get these going in roughly 6 hours. He says, bet, need it done today. I need both sheets at least functional. If there's no fancy shit, it's all good. I need both sheets functional. Too much fancy. These kids just need a sheet. And so I said, gotcha. I was just going off of what you said when you said you wanted something unique to PT domination. If all they need is a sheet, then this has been done for weeks now. You can use it now. Just delete the home tab and the buttons tab, and it's all good to go. He says, is it white? This one's black. And he says, send me both functioning sheets with Loom Video PLZ, in all caps, by EOD, by end of day. I said, I'm not sure if you have access to the right one. Here it is. Send it to him. I said, I can only do so much for my phone. Fully functional, but the fancy buttons that we don't want right now, the second do not work. So everything is manual entry in the exact spot. They need to update it. And here's the white check-in sheet. Here you go. I says, I think you'll have to request access, and then I can grant permissions. We're able to access those. This is like 2 hours later, 3 hours, 4 hours later. Also, since we're not going to worry about the fancy stuff right now, do you want me to re-record the looms tonight for how to use the sheet without the buttons and such, or would you rather my focus be elsewhere? Then he sends me this, and this whole time I'm thinking like he's just pissed, and this is what he says.
Can you do me a favor and freaking do a quick Loom video, a 5-minute Loom video showing me how to use each sheet? I'm going to roll it out to the mastermind tonight. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it.
And then he says, just driving. And when he said that, I was like, oh, he's not pissed at all, you know? And he says, I said, yeah, man, of course I'll get that done ASAP. We'll be home in an hour to get that recorded. He says, TY, thank you. Got my call in 20 minutes. I said, okay, 5 minutes from. He says, just saw the Loom video, and I hadn't even sent it yet, so I don't even know what that means. So I sent it to him. He says, ha, 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 perfect. Don't call it the IFCA tracker, LMAO. Change the name of the video, ha, 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 ha. Unsend, change name, resend should be easy to change. And this is for his eyes only, so I don't know why the fuck it matters. And then I sent the thing to him. He says, just requested access. I said approved. And then I was wanting for him to respond so I could ask what the fuck he wants me to do now, but he didn't respond. Then he puts me into a group chat with the $1 Million Mastermind people. So where the fuck is it? There it is. So now I'm in a group chat. How many people are in this? I don't know if there's a way. Dude, there's so many people in here. Holy shit. Oh, Trent Harrison's in here. Holy fuck, dude. Wow. Okay. Well, I am. Holy shit. Okay, so there's 155 people in here. I guarantee you every single one of these motherfuckers is doing like close to $1 million a year. Jackpot. What's kind of shitty is I could absolutely make a spreadsheet and charge each one individually, but if I post it to Brian and then he puts it in the group, then it's kind of like I got paid however much time and hours it took me to make it once. So therefore it's not recurring, but I wonder what I could do here. I wonder if I could make would it be bad to make something badass and then send it to him privately? I've got everybody in here. there's what's interesting is there's another coach that from another coaching program. His name's Zach Colburn. He's in here, but he runs his own, version of PT domination, which I thought was interesting. And I'm just looking at these names. Yeah, everybody in here. I mean, Mina's in here. Everybody in here. I think the standard here is like you're damn near $1 million or more per year. It's called the $1 Million Mastermind. Dude, this is insane. I'm just looking at all these different names, seeing if I recognize anybody. There's a few that I do. Wow, dude. This is cool. This is very cool. I'm just in. Oh, so he adds me to the group. And then he says, at Bryson Sessions is our spreadsheet guy. If you guys have questions, Bryson Sessions is here. Brittany says, thank you. Brian says, sauce. Thanks, guys. And that was it. That's it. It literally begins and ends there. Nobody's sent me anything. Nobody's done anything except use the sheet. Again, like I said, if it's up to me, we're not using that sheet. We're doing something else because that shit's ass. But it's fine. It's all good. But yeah, I kind of want to. This makes me want to make something and sell it privately. I don't know what I would make though. Gets my wheels turning because I'm in a group chat. Do you guys hear that? The guy wishes he owned a Lamborghini. Real quick, I just want to say this, dude. I've said this so many times on this podcast, so it remains consistent, but I have a lot of friends and people in my life and family that are car people, and they love cars, they love building cars, they love whatever. And I genuinely mean this, dude. I don't fucking get it. Unless it's a McLaren or a Lambo or some exotic car, to me, it's just a car. Like I don't get it, dude. Because I'll see cars that are arguably pimped out. They have nice rims, spoiler, body kit, whatever, and they look badass. But I'm like, dude, that's just a car. That's just a car. If it were a McLaren, I would say, holy fuck, that's one successful man. What does he do? Like, what does he do for a living? I don't even want to say for a living. Like, what kind of businesses does he own? What kind of, like, what's he doing to be making that kind of money? I don't see, like, you could even show me a Honda that costs $500,000 that it's stock or that it's from stock, pimped out. They added all the extras, and I would just see that and I would say, oh, it's a Honda. Don't know. But if it's a Lambo and it costs $2, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the reason why I say that is because this guy outside is just blasting his car, and more power to him. But I don't know, dude. It's just so interesting to me because so many people in my life love that shit, and I just don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I can appreciate a cool car and a car that goes, I can appreciate all that, but I don't know, dude. I think it's just different in perception of the thing. I think it's cool. This is me. I think it's cooler to work your ass off, generate some kind of large amount of revenue to then be able to afford a $500,000 car. I think that's more impressive than spending, 10,000 hours working on a car with your own two hands. I don't know. That's how I see it. And that's no disrespect to any car people. I just don't get it. Whatever. Love cars. Cars are cool. However, Lambos, McLarens, Ferraris, shit like that, that's cool. Everything else is just quite literally a car. I will even go as far as to say that a Rolls Royce is just a car. It's just looks like an ordinary car, dude. The doors open backwards. It's got big tire. I don't know. It's a fucking car, bro. Lambo, though, that shit's cool. McLaren, shit's cool. I would say that what's that car? What's that called? I can't remember what it's called, but it's shaped like a normal ass car. I don't know. Anyway, little side tangent. The little guy outside popping his car made me think of it, but anyway. I don't know what else to say. I think I'm going to end it. So what you're going to hear now is what I recorded earlier. I was on my way to lunch and I wanted to record it because it was just happening, what I was talking about. And so wanted to record some audio. So, yeah, there again. I don't know. So anyway, what you're about to hear is probably what I just talked about, but it is what it is. So hopefully we get an email tomorrow, whatever. We'll go from there. But love you guys. Peace out. Bye-bye. All right, what's going on? I'm at work, currently driving to grab some lunch right now. I got to go grocery shopping and get that shit going, dude. It's crazy. Anyway, fuck happened to my voice there. So I'm talking with Brian, and for context, in case you forgot, Brian is the guy that runs PT Domination, which is the entire business, company, program, whatever, that helps fitness coaches. I joined that. I was part of it. And I'm now working for them and doing spreadsheet stuff and data stuff and hopefully software stuff in the future. But anyway, I'm talking with Brian. And he is telling me that he needs this sheet done today. And I just explained to him, hey man, with all the stuff that you want me to do, it's not just some 30-minute project. You know, it's going to take me a while, especially because I only have about 2 to 3 hours per night during the week to work on this. And you know, my first project, I finished it in 11 straight pure focused hours of work on the first Sunday that I worked, and that was that big social media tracker, in which they just haven't used once yet, which it's all good, but if you're gonna have these deadlines, then at least, I don't know, it's all good. So we're going back and forth, and I said, hey man, I just explained to him, hey, I can't do it today. I only have probably 3 hours tonight to work on this. And he says, need it today, need a sheet today, need a functional sheet today, like back to back. And I said, well, actually, what did he say? He says, too much fancy. These guys just need a sheet. And I was like, well, if all they need is a sheet, then this has been done for weeks now. I'm just going off of what you said, which is you want something unique to PT Domination, which is, you know, the business. And that's the truth, because it's been done. I mean, they had that's so funny, dude. This is so funny. They made a sheet, or they had that sheet from that other guy, and they needed the colors changed, and to make it, you know, I don't even fucking know what they needed to do. But they had me change the colors and shit, and then that was it. And then I added the modals and the pop-ups and stuff like that and make it fancy. And yeah, so they've had a functional sheet from day one. I parked like a jackass, dude, all good. So they've had a functional, you hear that gay ass horn, dude? Yeah, I said gay. So they've had a functional sheet for weeks now. I've just been trying to make it nice and easier. So if he says it's too much fancy, then dude, you could have been using this since day one. You know what I mean? And truthfully speaking, like right now, dealing with this back and forth, it's just like painting a picture into what the future will look like working underneath him like this. I don't want to, dude. You know, if we're gonna have these unrealistic timelines and the I don't want to say neglect, but the choosing to not ask questions or understand or try to figure out why I'm unable to do certain things, then it's going to be a rough time. And even though this would be a great opportunity and a lot of money, I don't want anything to do with this, dude. So I don't even want to work under this kind of I guess leadership or expectation or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But more on this in a sec. Currently in line for Sub Sammy.